Did you know one designer flipped the graphic design world on its head by breaking all the rules? Meet David Carson, the American design wizard who shook things up in the 90s with visuals that were out of this world. Picture art inspired by ocean waves, wild typography, bold colors, and layouts that scream originality. Curious? Well, that's David Carson for you.
Some of the critics of the work saying, well, that's not graphic design. Graphic design has to communicate. So you're saying that fine art doesn't communicate?
Today, we're diving deep into the wild and wacky career of David Carson, the rebel designer who made chaos cool. We'll uncover his early days, his crazy work at RayGun magazine, and how his rule-breaking style still shakes up the design world today.
Damn!
Carson's work is a riot of creativity, proving that sometimes the best designs come from breaking all the rules. But first, a fun fact about David Carson. Not many designers earn the title of true pioneer. Why? Because not many can blend surfing vibes with grunge aesthetics like he does. Whether he's designing for RayGun, surf culture, or major brands, Carson's work proves that daring to be different pays off big time. He's like the surfboard-riding, grunge-loving MacGyver of the design world. Ready to be wowed by David Carson's story? Imagine surfing themes perfectly woven into visual designs, topped off with unique typography. From day one, he was all about two things, surfing and design. And guess what? He didn't choose between them, he combined them. Fresh out of school, David Carson didn't just step into the design world. He exploded into it like a firecracker at a 4th of July party. From the surf culture of Southern California to the global stage, Carson's journey is anything but ordinary. So, stay tuned to uncover the secrets behind Carson's most iconic designs and find out how he turned the design world into his personal playground. Alright, let's kick things off with a little backstory. David Carson, born on September 8, 1955 in sunny Corpus Christi, Texas, didn't exactly take the traditional route to becoming a design legend. Nope, this guy was more into catching waves and studying sociology at San Diego State University. Yeah, you heard that right. Our design hero was once a top-ranked surfer. Talk about riding the waves of creativity. Carson's first brush with graphic design happened in 1980 during a 2-week crash course in Switzerland with Hans Rudolf Lutz. That short stint lit a fire under him like a bonfire at a beach party. He initially surfed professionally before landing gigs at Self and Musician magazines. Then came Transworld Skateboarding, where he stayed for 4 years before moving on to beach culture in 1989 and RayGun 3 years later. Finally, he launched David Carson Design, his own studio, where he worked with major brands like Nike, Pepsi, and Levi's. His unconventional style kept breaking new ground, making him the go-to guy for innovative projects. Carson is famed for smashing design norms to smithereens. While working as an art director at RayGun, he ditched the traditional grid system and created designs that looked like a tornado had a playdate with a typewriter. Think distorted, overlapping, and rotated text that pushed the boundaries of conventional design. His chaotic yet poetic designs were like a visual fireworks display, reflecting his brilliance and creativity. Before we dive into Carson's influences, let's chat about his main goal. While many artists are busy chasing fame and fortune like it's the last slice of pizza, Carson's mission is all about communication. This focus has helped him connect with fans around the world, even with his wild and wacky visuals. David Carson once said, "Don't confuse legibility with communication. Just because something is legible doesn't mean it communicates, and more importantly, doesn't mean it communicates the right thing." Think of it like this: just because a road sign is clear doesn't mean it'll keep you from getting lost. Carson's view that clarity and communication are different has added an unconventional layer to his designs. He's all about expression, no matter what others think, but he also cares about the message behind the madness.
I'm a big believer in the emotion of design and the message that's sent before somebody begins to read, before they get the rest of the information. What is the emotional response they get to the product, to the story, to the painting, whatever it is?
As the world embraced technology, his designs flourish like a plant on steroids. Carson's style is heavily influenced by surfing. For him, surfing is all about harmony with nature and unpredictability, principles he applied in his design work. It's like predicting what the waves or the design will do next and adapting on the fly. Surfing taught him to go with the flow, a philosophy that guides his creative process. Carson lets the content and message dictate the design, challenging conventional ideas and embracing unpredictability like a pro surfer catching the perfect wave. Fast forward to the mid-80s, and Carson is working for a little skateboarding magazine called Trans World Skateboarding. His work here started gaining attention for its distinctive style, characterized by chaotic layouts and experimental typography. Carson's designs often seem to defy the traditional principles of readability and structure. Imagine wild layouts and typography that seem like they had too much coffee.
It's just so chaotic.
Totally chaotic, but oh so cool. His style was perfect for the edgy, rebellious vibe of the magazine's readers. Now let's get to the juicy part, RayGun magazine. In 1992, Carson took over as art director, and boy did he make a splash. His designs were like nothing anyone had ever seen before. Think of a typography party where the letters dance around the page in a chaotic but mesmerizing way. One of his most infamous moves, printing an entire Brian Ferry interview in dingbat font because he found the content boring. What? That's right, he replaced all the text with symbols. Carson was all about making a statement and evoking an emotional response, even if it meant breaking every design rule in the book. Carson's work at RayGun didn't just turn heads, it made waves. Soon, big brands like Nike, Pepsi, and Levi's were knocking on his door. In 1995, he published The End of Print, a book that became a design Bible. It was packed with his most iconic works and his philosophy on design, and it sold like hotcakes. His style, often dubbed grunge typography, was all about overlapping text, funky spacing, and fragmented images. It looked like a beautiful mess, but it was all carefully crafted chaos. Carson wanted viewers to feel something, to engage deeply with the design, making the act of reading a wild ride. In the years following RayGun, Carson continued to push the boundaries of design. His work with 9 Inch Nails, David Byrne, and Microsoft brought a fresh, avant-garde perspective to album covers, music videos, and branding campaigns. Carson's ability to translate the energy of music and culture into visual art made these collaborations iconic.
You gotta just trust your gut and do what you feel is right, and that's where the really great works come from.
Throughout his career, Carson has been a sought-after speaker and educator. He's given lectures and workshops around the world, sharing his insights and inspiring the next generation of designers. Carson's teaching style reflects his design philosophy. He encourages students to experiment, take risks, and find their own voice rather than conforming to established norms. Even today, Carson keeps pushing the envelope. He's worked on everything from book covers to corporate branding, and his designs are as fresh and bold as ever. The design world has changed a lot, but Carson's work still stands out. He's a constant reminder that great design doesn't follow rules, it makes them. Carson's influence on the design world is unmatched, and his approach continues to inspire. His work reminds us that revolutionary ideas often come from those unafraid to try new things. Some of his most notable works include magazine designs, which were considered Carson's playground. At RayGun, he threw the traditional grid system out the window, creating layouts that were expressive and communicative. His designs resonated with readers and remains iconic today. Carson's brief stint at RayGun led to collaborations with major brands like Nike and Pepsi. His bold artistic skills brought out the boldness these brands wanted. His diverse clientele includes tech giants like Microsoft and AT&T, and other companies like Kodak, Mercedes-Benz, MTV Global, Levi's, and Ray-Ban. Carson's influence even extends to books. The End of Print, the graphic design of David Carson, is a must-read for anyone passionate about design. It showcases key pieces from his magazine and ad campaigns, along with insights into his design approach and initial reactions. David Carson's design style is a wild mix of chaos and innovation, like a rock concert for your eyeballs. He's all about creating visuals that are not only a feast for the eyes, but also pack a punch of meaning. This made his design stand out and continue to inspire new generations of designers. He's not just a design legend, he's the rebellious mentor who always knows how to stir the pot. With his groundbreaking work and relentless pursuit of experimentation, David Carson is like the mad scientist of design, spreading his creative magic far and wide. David Carson's career is a testament to the power of thinking outside the box, or in his case, completely ignoring the box. From his early days in surfing magazines to his groundbreaking work with RayGun and beyond, Carson has continually challenged the status quo and inspired designers around the world. So next time you sit down to design, channel your inner Carson and don't be afraid to shake things up. You never know what amazing things you might create. Remember, rules are just suggestions, and the best designs often come from breaking a few. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed learning about David Carson, check out our other videos on design legends and innovative techniques. Thanks for watching.